The first time we sent a camera that deep, nobody really breathed. The screen showed nothing but black, then a single beam of light thin as a thread, trembling under 11 kilometers of water. Ellen stood beside me, coffee untouched, eyes wide like a child seeing snow for the first time. She whispered, "Do you realize we're watching a place that's never seen light? Down there, even silence has weight." The monitor flickered once, twice, then something moved. Slow, purposeful. Not a fish, not debris, just a shadow, vast and patient, drifting beyond the beam. Someone laughed nervously. Someone else crossed themselves. I remember Ellen's voice, softer now, "Keep recording. Whatever that is, it's looking back." The room went still. No alarms, no words. Just the hum of the ocean pressing against the glass, and the sudden understanding that maybe curiosity isn't bravery, it's longing dressed as courage. For a heartbeat, we all believed the deep was listening. Morning over the Pacific was soft and golden, the kind of calm that made the sea look endless. The ship swayed slowly under the sky, its metal frame creaking like it had learned to breathe with the waves. Crew members moved quietly, tightening cables, adjusting instruments, recording numbers. Seagulls hovered overhead, their cries fading into the wind. Ellen stood near the railing, sunlight cutting across her face, headset in hand. "Today we touched the bottom of the earth," she said, half to herself, half to the ocean. The crew laughed, though no one really spoke after. Someone turned on an old radio. Country music drifting through the salt air, warm, hopeful, fragile. Inside the control room, blue light filled the space. Screens glowed with numbers, slow and patient. Oxygen levels, pressure, temperature, everything under control. A small photograph of Ellen's daughter fluttered near the depth chart. Steam rose from coffee cups, mingling with the soft hum of machinery. It felt safe, contained, as if science itself could hold back the weight of the deep. The descent began. 1,000 meters, 3,000, 6,000. The surface light vanished, replaced by blackness. Pressure stable. Visibility low. Ellen's voice came through calm and steady. On the monitor, her heartbeat glowed, a single green pulse against the dark. Then came a shift, faint but real. A low vibration rolled through the speakers. "Listen," someone whispered. The hum deepened, slow and alive. Ellen paused. "That's not us," she said quietly. "The ocean's making that sound." At first, it was just a flicker, one tiny glitch in the endless flow of data. A number froze, then lurched forward, as if the deep itself had skipped a second of time. Ellen leaned toward the monitor, eyes tracing the frozen digits, her breath shallow. "That's not pressure variance," she said, almost to herself. Her hand hovered over the console, uncertain whether to adjust or observe. The hum from the submersible filled the room, steady at first, then shifting, deepening, taking on a strange pulse that felt less like machinery and more like breath. We ran diagnostics twice. Every light blinked green, every system read stable. Yet the sound refused to align with anything we knew. It throbbed through the speakers, rhythmic, insistent. A heartbeat from nowhere. Someone forced a laugh. "It's probably feedback," he said, but the tremor in his voice betrayed him. At 10,800 meters, the feed began to blur. The image rippled, static gathering like fog, then breaking apart into fleeting shapes, forms too quick to define but too deliberate to ignore. Ellen adjusted the gain, careful, her fingers trembling. The picture cleared for a breath of a moment. Then something crossed the beam of the submersible's light, slow, soft, intentional. A vibration rolled through the hull, almost imperceptible, but it reached our bones before our ears. Everyone froze. Someone whispered, "Did something touch us?" The air in the room thickened. No one answered. The hum grew lower, closer, as if the ocean itself had drawn near to listen.
"Keep recording."
The green line of Ellen's heartbeat flickered once on the monitor, then steadied. She spoke at last, her voice quiet, reverent. "Keep recording," she said. "Whatever this is, don't look away." The alarm didn't start with a sound, it began with silence, so deep it pressed against the eardrums. Then the sub lurched hard to one side, a violent, weightless jolt that threw Ellen into the console. Her headset cracked against metal. "Stabilize!" Someone shouted over the intercom, but the word broke in half as the hull moaned, an agonized sound that wasn't supposed to exist that far below the surface. The steel shuddered, groaning like something ancient and alive was trying to crush it from the outside. The light feed spun, cutting through drifting clouds of silt. For a breathless moment, the camera caught it, a curve, smooth and massive, gliding just beyond the edge of visibility. It wasn't rock. It wasn't wreckage. It was moving, breathing. The beam followed it, but the shape vanished like a dream dissolving into darkness. "Jesus Christ, what is that?" someone whispered. The radio hissed, and Ellen's voice came through in broken bursts of static. "Pressure's holding," she said, breathing fast. "Something's circling us." On the monitors, numbers flashed: red depth 10,912 meters. Then the feed jumped one frame, then another, skipping like a heartbeat out of rhythm. The hum that had been steady for hours deepened, stretching into a roar, low and endless, vibrating through the control room until it was no longer sound but sensation, in the walls, in our ribs, in our teeth. Every bolt in the hull screamed under the strain. The oxygen alarm wailed, warning lights bled crimson across every face. "Surface, do you copy?" Nothing. Only distortion, a voice somewhere inside the noise, whispering in a rhythm that wasn't human. Ellen's breathing came through the speakers, short and uneven. "It's right above us," she said. Then everything stopped 3 seconds. That's all, no movement, no light, just the stillness of something watching. The camera hung steady, beam fixed into the void. Then a shadow crossed the frame, enormous, slow, fluid. It eclipsed the light completely. "Cut the feed," someone yelled, but the pressure gauge had already spiked. The sub tilted violently, metal shrieking as something massive shifted against it. A deep, bone-shaking crack echoed through the water, like the world itself breaking. Ellen's voice came one last time, fragile and human. "Tell my daughter," she gasped. "I saw it." The signal fractured. The screens went black dot for a long time. No one moved. The red emergency light pulsed across pale faces, silent mouths, hands frozen in midair. We waited for sound, any sound. Then faintly from the speakers, a single pulse rose through the static. Low, slow, heavy, a heartbeat. Too vast to belong to anything we knew. Then silence again. The hum returned, steady, endless, the ocean reclaiming its quiet, as if nothing had ever happened at all. When the noise stopped, no one dared to breathe. The control room flickered in dim red light, the kind that makes every face look ghostly. The air smelled of burnt plastic and salt. Cracked screens blinked with error codes. Half-dead machines trying to make sense of what they'd seen. Coffee had spilled across the console, dripping down into the wires, mixing with the black ash that floated through the air. The floor trembled once, faintly, like the ocean was shifting beneath us, not moving, but breathing. Hours passed before the signal came back. At first, only static, a dry hiss that filled the room. Then, slowly, the feed emerged. The submersible hung in open water, motionless, its lights were dead. The hatch was sealed, no crew, no Ellen, just the dark, swaying dust that drifted like snow in a place where snow should never fall. Something, maybe current, maybe not, brushed against the camera, and the whole image pulsed once before stabilizing. I sat down in her chair. It was still warm. Her headset lay coiled beside her notebook. One sentence was written in black ink, jagged from a shaking hand. "If it looks back, don't look away." I stared at it until the words stopped making sense. Outside, dawn broke without color. The sky was gray, the sea flat as glass. Someone wept quietly near the railing. Another man prayed under his breath, not for the lost, but for the living. The sound cracked through the morning calm like something sacred breaking. We played the final audio file on loop, desperate for her voice. Nothing. Just one faint pulse, low and steady, hidden deep below the normal range of hearing. It beat like a heart, far away and patient. For a moment, I thought I heard her, breathing inside that sound. Or maybe it wasn't her at all. Maybe it was the ocean, remembering who had dared to listen. Weeks later, the ocean looked unchanged, blue and endless, pretending innocence. The waves lapped gently against the pier, the same rhythm as before, but now it felt rehearsed, like a lie told too many times. Every time I looked at that surface, so calm and ordinary, I thought about what lay beneath it, the miles of darkness that light could never reach, and the place where Ellen's voice still existed, trapped between static and silence. People asked what we found. I told them nothing. But nothing doesn't hum.
She would have been
Nothing
so
doesn't
proud of
press
you,
against
you know?
steel or shake a human voice into prayer. The truth was simpler, crueler. We didn't find it. It found us. And when it did, it looked back. I think about that moment more than I should. How small we must have seemed. How fragile our machines. How arrogant our belief that curiosity makes us brave. It doesn't. Curiosity is hunger. Courage is admitting when you've gone too far. Standing there on the deck weeks later, staring out at the flat horizon, I understood that we never conquered the deep. We only borrowed time from it. Ellen's daughter visited the lab one afternoon. She was quiet, polite, clutching a photo of her mother. She asked me, did she see it? Her voice was steady, almost adult. I wanted to tell her no, to protect her. Instead, I said the only truth I could manage. She saw everything, I told her. More than anyone ever should. She nodded once, like she understood something I didn't. At night, when the building empties and the lights dim, I still play the last recovered file. The hum is faint now, decaying with every playback, but if you turn the volume high enough, if you listen past the static, there's a sound, soft, rhythmic, impossibly alive. It could be breathing. Or maybe it's the ocean, remembering us, the way it remembers every voice that ever reached too deep. We name our fears so we can contain them: abyss, void, unknown. But down there, those words dissolve. There is no language that far below, only pressure, water, memory. It wasn't the sea that took them. It was the silence, the kind that answers nothing, that waits patiently after every question we should have left unasked. And sometimes, when the world above goes still, I think the ocean is still listening, waiting for us to listen back.